Ah, you're here, Dragon Slayer.
Our hero. Everyone's abuzz with tales of your gallantry.
Quite so. We've won the battle, but the war yet teeters on a knife's edge. In a word, we may occupy Korisku now, but it is no place for long-term settlement. The Orcs' main army is still assembled at Wolf Keep and the Sunset Outpost. We must advance quickly to halt them. The Orcs' main army is still assembled at Wolf Keep and the Sunset Outpost. But our forces need time to regroup, and these Orcs we've captured need to be safely incarcerated, lest they leak our plan of attack. But our forces need time to regroup, and these Orcs we've captured need to be safely incarcerated, lest they leak our plan of attack. Meanwhile, to the best of our knowledge, a chunk of dragon remains is buried in Sinner's Swamp on the Old Highlands. Exactly. You're the only one who can finish it. Before we launch an assault on Grishnar, we have to ensure he doesn't absorb any more dragon remains. But according to the soldiers' reports, there seems to be a strange magic nexus obstructing the entrance to Sinner's Swamp, and no one can get in.
We captured an orc wizard called Dench. He's Grishnar's confidant, and apparently rather well versed in black magic. Sinner's Swamp isn't far off from the orcs' territory, and it's likely that they're eyeing the dragon remains there as well. Thus, I think he might know something about how to get inside Sinner's Swamp. Sinner's Swamp isn't far off from the orcs' territory, and it's likely that they're eyeing the dragon remains there as well. Thus, I think he might know something about how to get inside Sinner's Swamp.
Precisely. At this very moment, Chief Eric is at the Korisku altar, attempting an interrogation. I hope that you can assist in the interrogation, Dragon Slayer. Additionally, I think we can also take this opportunity to tease out the origin of Grishnar's power. I hope that you can assist in the interrogation, Dragon Slayer. Additionally, I think we can also take this opportunity to tease out the origin of Grishnar's power. We're about to confront Grishnar. Given our previous failures, we need to refine our counterattacks before we strike. Besides which, I'm concerned about the portal Chief Eric mentioned earlier. Perhaps we might learn of Grishnar's marching plans from that orc as well. Good. Once preparations are made, we march for Wolf Keep. There's one more thing, Dragon Slayer. It's about what I mentioned before. About the capture of some of the soldiers after their defeat in the battle at the Sunset Outpost. When we took Korisku, my soldiers discovered Knights of the Order of Platinum being held captive. We freed those we found, but some are still missing. And Clovis is one of them. When we took Korisku, my soldiers discovered Knights of the Order of Platinum being held captive. We freed those we found, but some are still missing. And Clovis is one of them. I have a bad feeling about this. If possible, could you please keep an eye out for Clovis's whereabouts? Wonderful. In any case, please exercise great caution.
Oh, Dragon Slayer, you're here.
Huh? Dragon Slayer? Oh, hey! It's you! We're old buddies!
You know each other.
Of course! We've got a history together! I guess if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in this mess too, right? I'm only following orders. Otherwise, why would I come all the way to your territory? By the way, you did me a great disservice. Oh, if it weren't for your troublemaking, I would have gotten what I needed, and Grishnar would never have thrown me into this forsaken place. Oh, speaking of which, would you happen to know, Halfling? You know the sealed dragon remains? That forbidden thing? We had to sacrifice living folks just to obtain them. And this Dragon Slayer right here can get them with just a flick of a finger. You know the sealed dragon remains? That forbidden thing? We had to sacrifice living folks just to obtain them. And this Dragon Slayer right here can get them with just a flick of a finger. I dare say, between you and Krishna, maybe the real monster is you. By the way, have you never tried to use that power? Look at Krishna. That guy's using it beautifully. There's no need to rush. After all, there isn't any shame in admitting that you crave power, is there?
Don't waste your breath, Orc. The Dragon Slayer is not as despicable as you believe. You're more devious than I thought, saying all these without revealing a hint of the information we want. It's time to switch it up. Dragon Slayer?
Stop putting on an act. Who's gonna fall for this these days? Stop wasting your energy. It's not that easy to get information from me. Didn't you claim to have a solution? Come try it on me, if you dare. Quite merciless you are, no? However, you've got to use more strength if you actually want me to open my mouth. I can tell that you're for real this time. Never mind. It's not worth the trouble working for Krishna anyway. Ask me your questions. Come on, stop pretending that you're clueless. Don't you already know by now? That's the power of dragons. 500 years ago, Violet Dragon Grumog fell unto South Adenthia. He was not a superior dragon god by any means, but the power he possessed was still enough for him to lord over all mortals. That's the power of dragons. 500 years ago, Violet Dragon Grumog fell unto South Adenthia. He was not a superior dragon god by any means, but the power he possessed was still enough for him to lord over all mortals. 500 years have allowed the dragon's corpse to form concentrated crystals with the dragon god's power infused within. But obviously, this wasn't something that any mortal could simply touch. Thus, Krishna paid a price when he absorbed this power. The black magic of living sacrifice. This was the only way that the dragon remains could be extracted from its seal for his use. That's right, but that's not all. It's one thing to break the seal, but it's another thing to be able to use it. Krishna wasn't always this unhinged. The dragon remains changed him, eroded his mind, and seized his soul. And this is just the beginning. He touched something that is taboo to mortals, and transgressed the worldly principles. In the long run, this will surely cause an even bigger catastrophe. which none of us can escape. And this is just the beginning. He touched something that is taboo to mortals and transgressed the worldly principles. In the long run, this will surely cause an even bigger catastrophe, which none of us can escape. Plan? He doesn't have a plan. He wants to kill every single one of you. That's his plan. Oh, but I seem to have unintentionally tipped him off to the existence of a portal in Wolf Keep that leads directly to Dragonheir. Although the portal is deactivated, it won't be long before Grishnar revives it completely, based on the power he holds currently. When that happens, there won't be a fair fight. When Grishnar swarms towards you with his group of orcs, the empire you're so proud of will be no more! When that happens, there won't be a fair fight. When Grishnar swarms towards you with his group of orcs, the empire you're so proud of will be no more! What? Haven't I told you enough? Dragon remains are right there, and whoever has the means can go over and take it. Simple as that! There's nothing more I can say. Leave me alone.
Obviously, Dench is still trying to hide something. But if you don't have anything on him, it's going to be hard getting him to talk.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so there's more to it than that. According to my knowledge on orcs, they'll definitely shred you into paste.
All right. I'll tell you everything this time. But on the condition that you don't surrender me to those barbarous fools. I'll start from the beginning. At that time, Gragrir was still our chief. Our days were uneventful, until one day, a woman dressed in red appeared in our camp. I'll start from the beginning. At that time, Gragrir was still our chief. Our days were uneventful, until one day, a woman dressed in red appeared in our camp.
A human? Why would a human be in an orc camp?
That's what we wanted to know as well. All the warriors in the tribe charged at her in an attempt to subdue her, but to our surprise, no one was her match. She claimed that she came here bearing a gift, a power as strong as that of a god that was waiting to be owned. Old Gragrir knew full well that possessing such a strange power came at a price, and refused her immediately. However, there was someone else who took her words in. Old Gragrir knew full well that possessing such a strange power came at a price, and refused her immediately. However, there was someone else who took her words in. An easy guess, eh? He made a deal with that woman under the table, learned the ritual and methods to absorb the dragon remains, and asked me to help him implement them. An easy guess, eh? He made a deal with that woman under the table, learned the ritual and methods to absorb the dragon remains, and asked me to help him implement them. The first victims to the black magic were none other than his own Bloodfang members. Grishnar used them to trade for the dragon remains on Canine Peak, and absorbed its power. The first victims to the black magic were none other than his own Bloodfang members. Grishnar used them to trade for the dragon remains on Canine Peak, and absorbed its power. You can probably guess what happened next. He usurped the chief's position, occupied Wolf Keep, and is planning to take Dragonheir into his pocket. To be frank, I probably don't know as much as you do. After all, you're on the human side, aren't you? She never said her name. I only know that she's very young, and probably stunningly beautiful by your standards. Oh, she also carries around a pet pseudo-dragon. She never said her name. I only know that she's very young, and probably stunningly beautiful by your standards. Oh, she also carries around a pet pseudo-dragon.
You suddenly realize that the woman in red that Dench is talking about seems strikingly similar to someone you know well. Flora Mordalet. Could she be Grishnar's original instigator? But why would the daughter of a duke do something like this?
That seems to be about it. There's probably no way to get any more information out of him regarding Grishnar. But it's enough to prepare for our next steps. I've also got a rough idea as to what methods we should employ. But we have a more pressing matter at hand.
What? I've told you all I can say. What more do you want? Oh. Ah. I see. You too covered the dragon remains there. Am I wrong? And still you say you don't want that power? Yet I find you way more aggressive than everyone else, Dragon Slayer.
Enough nonsense, Orc. Do you know the way to Cinder Swamp or not?
All right, all right. At this point, I'm not going to bother resisting anymore. Earlier, I used magic to seal the entrance to the swamp, so no one could reach it. I used a secret spell from Hypogene District. There's probably no one else who could undo it but me.
You're saying that if we want to go to Cinder Swamp, we have to bring you there as well?
Absolutely. Should you wish to try it yourselves, I won't stop you. But as a good reminder, before you Imperials got here, Grishnar had sent some underlings there to perform the black magic ritual for the dragon remains. As for what materials are needed for that black magic, Dragon Slayer, I think you should know very well. What do you know? Grishnar just so happens to have tons of fine material to hand. What better sacrifices could there be than Imperial Knights, eh?
This is bad. Those missing knights the princess mentioned, they may have been taken as sacrifices for black magic.
So, if you want to save those knights, I urge you to act fast! Otherwise, you'll be left with nothing but cold bodies!
Now what, Dragon Slayer? You are right. Time is of the essence. I will take this orc with me, given the circumstances. Let's rendezvous at the entrance to Cinder Swamp.
I know. I've been cooperating with you all along, so you ought to at least be a little more polite towards me. If you want my help, then shouldn't you untie me first? Of course! Do you still not trust me at this point? Come on! You can't enter without me!
This is bad. He managed to escape. My apologies. I was negligent earlier as well. But I didn't expect him to escape to Sinner's Swamp without any qualms. It's full of monsters and dangers that lurk at every corner. So even the orcs usually steer clear of this place. But I didn't expect him to escape to Sinner's Swamp without any qualms. It's full of monsters and dangers that lurk at every corner. So even the orcs usually steer clear of this place. I'm worried that the orc might have other plans. In that case, I'll enter Sinner's Swamp with you, Dragon Slayer. We're pressed for time, so it's best we split up. I'll head in first to track down the orc's trail, while you take care of the dragon's remains and the captured knights. May we come out of this alive, Dragon Slayer. Please, take care.
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Uh-huh.
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Try to hurt me!
Yes.
to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt... Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Try to hurt me! Try to hurt me! Try!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Try to hurt me!
Yes.
Who is this?
Come here, please. Dragon Slayer. to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Huh?
Dragon Slayer. It really is you.
Don't strain yourself. You're in a bad way.
Please, go help Clovis. Those orcs, they brought us to the swamp and said they were going to perform some kind of black magic ritual. We tried to escape, but we were wounded and no match for them. If Clovis hadn't stopped them, we wouldn't have made it here alive. And now, Clovis is alone against those orcs. Please, go and help him. Or else... Thank you, Dragon Slayer. East of here, you'll find...
He passed out. It wasn't easy for him to stay conscious for so long. In that case, I'll take care of the knights here. The rest is up to you, Dragon Slayer. Please, be careful. Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this! Yes.
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Right!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Only by grasping my bow can I...
You! Dragon Slayer!
What? Another one has come to your rescue? No matter. I don't want to waste any more time. Now die!
Ashes of rebirth!
Bullseye!
Eat this!
Fight for Dragon's Breath!
Try to hurt!
Fight for Dragon...
Ashes of rebirth!
Bullseye!
Yes.
I didn't expect to be saved by you once again, Dragon Slayer.
Are you talking about what happened at Sunset Outpost? Don't think too much of it. You're the key to this war, and it's supposed to be my duty to protect you. Anyway, I would have been in big trouble this time without you. It's nothing. I've been through worse. As you probably know, these orcs are capturing us to make sacrifices for black magic rituals. And that's how they collect the dragon remains. Fortunately, we were quick enough to stop them. That piece of the dragon remains is so far untouched. I'm guessing that's why you're here. Good. I probably won't be able to help much with what comes next. Then I'll have to check on my comrades first. I will leave the sealing of the dragon remains to you, Dragon Slayer.
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Eat this! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Eat this! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye!
Everything all right, Dragon Slayer? With Chief Eric treating them, they should be fine. I'm just checking in with you here. Do you need any help?
Looks like you lot are making decent headway. It's me! Thanks for clearing the way, Dragon Slayer. I'd never have made it here on my own.
It's you.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite prisoner. Well, we had a lot of fun earlier, didn't we? Come on, don't look at me like that. I'm not here for you this time. With our great Dragon Slayer clearing the way to the dragon remains, how could we not put it to good use, right?
You scoundrel. Don't even think about... What is this?
What did I do? Can't you tell? I'm doing what I was going to do. You really thought I did nothing to you when we were playing, Sir Knight? I lit the seed of black magic in your body. And now, you need only be sacrificed, and the dragon remains shall be mine.
No, Dragon Slayer, hurry! You must gather the dragon remains before he finishes the spell.
Don't even think about it! You are too late!
rebirth!
Bullseye! Eat this! Try to hurt me!
Ashes of rebirth!
Yes.
I'm fine, Dragon Slayer. If you hadn't chosen to stop him, I think I'd probably be dead. My gratitude is beyond words, Dragon Slayer. But for now, I think you have more important matters to attend to. Do what you have to do. I'll be watching over you.
The Forgotten Realm summons you. Soon enough.
Just a little more. Just a little more. His end is nigh. Victory shall be ours.
The Forgotten Realm is silent. You look around. There's no sign of Utyr this time.
Oh, you're back, Dragon Slayer. How are things going with the dragon remains? Great. That's one less thing we have to worry about. And the captured knights have been rescued as well.
All thanks to you, Dragon Slayer.
I've arranged for the injured knights to be brought back to the Korisku camp, so you needn't worry about them. As for us, now that the matter of the dragon remains is settled, it's time for the next step. So, I'll see you at Korisku's main camp.
See you later, Dragon Slayer.
Ah, you're here, Dragon Slayer. I've already heard from Chief Eric that the dragon remains have been successfully sealed away. Thank you for your contribution once again.
Of course. I've been absent enough, and I must not miss such an important occasion.
I've already advised him to rest and recover. But he was always one to put on a tough front, and he's not changed at all.
These are just trivial matters, Your Highness.
Regardless of that, it's because of you that Clovis and some of the knights have returned, Dragon Slayer. Nothing can express my gratitude.
You're too humble, Dragon Slayer.
That's right. This all means so much to us. After this, I must find a way to repay you properly. But now, we must discuss our next marching plan. As everyone here knows, our next target is Wolf Keep, where Grishnar and his main forces are currently situated. And according to the intelligence we've received, which corroborates what Chief Eric has said, Grishnar is planning to use the portal near Wolf Keep to teleport his main forces directly into Dragonheir and attack it. And according to the intelligence we've received, which corroborates what Chief Eric has said, Grishnar is planning to use the portal near Wolf Keep to teleport his main forces directly into Dragonheir and attack it. This is also our top priority. To prevent the Orc invasion of our capital, we must destroy the portal there at all costs. In this regard, I believe Chief Eric possesses a better understanding than we do.
Quite so. I believe it's time I share with everyone the history that has been passed down by the Ridge Halflings. As everyone knows, the conflict between the Empire and the Bloodfang dates back to a long time ago, during which many events occurred. For a long time, the Orcs have firmly occupied the region around Canine Peak. Because of its defensibility, human armies have been unsuccessful in driving them out. For a long time, the Orcs have firmly occupied the region around Canine Peak. Because of its defensibility, human armies have been unsuccessful in driving them out. That was until a few hundred years ago, when an Empire wizard, proficient in spatial magic, constructed a portal capable of teleporting large-scale troops. After that, the then king immediately ordered the teleportation of a massive army to Canine Peak, to launch a surprise attack against the Orcs there. That was until a few hundred years ago, when an Empire wizard, proficient in spatial magic, constructed a portal capable of teleporting large-scale troops. After that, the then king immediately ordered the teleportation of a massive army to Canine Peak. To launch that attack dealt a huge blow to the Orcs, a huge number of Orc warriors dying in the surprise raid. After that, Wolf Keep was erected, and for hundreds of years after, the Orcs have been blocked in from the west of Wolf Keep, no longer able to advance east.
That doesn't sound like a very honorable move.
But if we don't stop them in time, innocent civilians of the Empire will be hurt.
Anyway, the portal was constructed using extremely powerful spatial magic. Reactivating it requires an exceptional amount of magic, which is impossible for ordinary wizards. Anyway, the portal was constructed using extremely powerful spatial magic. Reactivating it requires an exceptional amount of magic, which is impossible for ordinary wizards. But having absorbed the dragon remains, Grishnar has the power to reactivate the portal in a short amount of time. So for us, time really is of the essence.
Thus, when we launch our surprise attack, someone among us must destroy the portal. I believe there is no other candidate more suitable than you, Dragon Slayer. I believe you can do it.
If Grishnar appears while you're destroying the portal, I will find a way to temporarily immobilize him with spells. The rest of the soldiers must be prepared to retreat at any moment. Grishnar has become very unpredictable after his evolution, so he must be extremely cautious. The rest of the soldiers must be prepared to retreat at any moment. Grishnar has become very unpredictable after his evolution, so he...
If we don't stop him this time...
Your Highness?
Regardless, there's no more time to waste. It's time to strike. What say you, Dragon Slayer?
You too, Dragon Slayer.
Gather the troops. Let's go.
We'll see you shortly, Dragon Slayer.
It's time, Dragon Slayer. Once we get moving, there will be no turning back. Are you ready? Excellent. Well then.
Soldiers! Charge!
A resounding blast of the bugle marks the beginning of the surprise attack of Wolfkeep by the Empire's troops.
Ashes of rebirth.
Eat this!
Tried!
Ashes of rebirth.
Eat this! Ah.
I've never lost a fight.
How strange. I've never met anyone like you before.
The spirit of Dragon's Breath is etched in my heart. A burning heart, a level head, and an understanding.
Ashes of rebirth.
Bullseye! Eat this!
Try to hurt me!
Bullseye!
These humans. I never imagined that you'd fight us here. bad. Whatever you're planning, it's too late.
We'll hold off these orcs for you, Dragon Slayer. Hurry and destroy the portal!
What do you think you're doing? How audacious of you, human princess. And you, Dragon Slayer. I clearly gave you a thorough thrashing earlier. I still remember the scent of your blood.
Curses. We won't let you get away with this.
Suddenly, Eric quietly moves closer to you.
I'll find a way to restrain him using nature magic. Dragon Slayer, take this chance to destroy the portal over there.
Don't even think about it. Goodbye, inferior mortals. Your city and empire will belong to me soon.
What? No! How did this happen? They invaded the capital right before my eyes. No, we must chase after them. What else should we do then? Wait here and do nothing? He possesses power obtained from the dragon remains. We're no match for him at all. Not me, and not even you, Dragon Slayer. At this rate... Wait.
Acilia looks at you with a somewhat unsettling gaze.
Grishnar is not the only one who possesses dragon remains. Narika's mirror. If I recall correctly, as long as we have it, we'll be able to travel to where the dragon remains are sealed. There's no other way now. I'm sorry, Dragon Slayer.
Suddenly, a powerful shockwave rams into you. Your vision goes dark. As you wake up from the unconsciousness, you feel a familiar coldness lingering around you. It all went by so fast. You try to recollect what just happened. Grishnar, the portal, and Princess Acilia. Princess Acilia. She seems to be on the verge of doing something reckless. Something is going on. A sudden uneasiness wells up in your mind. The magic nexus sealing the dragon remains has been completely destroyed, and all the dragon remains have disappeared. Princess Acilia. She must have taken the dragon remains. You must return in haste.
Dragon Slayer! After Grishnar and his subordinates were teleported away, you and the princess suddenly disappeared. A while later, the princess reappeared here, but before we could say anything, she silently jumped into the portal. Then, you returned.
If my guess is right, did Princess Acilia do something she shouldn't have done?
What did you say?
It's just as I thought.
How is this possible? Her Highness couldn't have done something so senseless.
From the looks of the situation, the princess must have thought there was no other choice.
So, you mean?
I believe that to deal with Grishnar, the princess is likely planning to absorb the power of the dragon remains herself.
Bahamut above. Recently, Grishnar has been continuously pushing our forces back, and Her Highness's spirit has been pushed to the limits. Witnessing Grishnar's direct invasion of the capital must have pushed her to the brink of collapse. How could I not have noticed this? No, we must stop her, before a greater tragedy unfolds.
Actually, maybe we don't have to despair just yet.
Chief Eric? Do you have a plan?
I've had my suspicions before as well. But seeing Grishnar's magic in person confirms something. The power of the dragon remains that he's using is in fact the power of Inquietum.
What? But the power of Inquietum is clearly diametrically opposed to that of the Dragon God's power of order.
Though I don't know what went wrong during this time, it seems like what Dench believed isn't correct. What the dragon remains contain is not the power of the Dragon God. Maybe the dragon remains became tainted, or it has always been inherently different from what we thought it was. But I'm definitely not mistaken about this. Eulestein was once invaded by such an external power, so I'm familiar with it as well. What counters the power of Inquietum is the true power of order from a dragon god, and there's someone amongst us who just so happens to be blessed with such a power.
You're saying...
If my understanding is correct, Princess Cecilia is none other than a paladin who has sworn an oath to Bahamut, the dragon god.
You're saying that the princess possesses a power that can stand up to Grishnar's? But before this...
I think it's because we haven't found a way to use that power properly. The Platinum Dragon God's power of order was what granted the princess with her powers. However, she was still young at that time, and thus had limited use of her powers, so she needed a more powerful person to assist and support her. The Platinum Dragon God's power of order was what granted the princess with her powers. However, do you get my meaning, Dragon Slayer? Indeed, that is so. This is also why we, or rather you, must stop her right now.
As it stands, we cannot delay any longer. We must intervene before the princess makes any rash decisions. This matter concerns the future of an entire empire, Dragon Slayer. We're all counting on you.
Luckily, we can also use the portal that Grishnar set up to get to Lumina.
Yes, I will lead the rest of the troops and catch up with you later. If I'm not mistaken, a battle will already be raging at the other side of the portal. Please, take care, Dragon Slayer.
This place is being ravaged by the fires of war. The soldier must find Princess Cecilia as soon as possible.